Shabbat Shalom, bruchim, haba'im. My name is Rabbi Jesse Mordechai Charon.
And I am Rebbetzin Shirai Charon. We're also joined by our president here at Temple Beth David, Judy Kern, and our streaming specialist, Denise Whitlock, our daughters, Nava and Ziva. And we also have in the building our eldest daughter, Reina, and just our amazing, wonderful volunteer and Dugma Ishit for Reina, Annie. So.
And we're here with you, so say Shabbat Shalom. We're so excited. It's the 3rd of Shvat, 5781. That correlates to the 16th of January, 2021. You know, we're in the month of Shvat. Hopefully you got your email for this incredible Temple Beth David gift that we're going to share with you. You got to RSV to our president. So RSVP to Judy Kern. We are excited to daven with you this morning. We need prayer. We need to be together, to have a community. So let your friends know all the things that we're doing about Temple Beth David, the learning opportunities, the Hebrew language, the adult B'nai Mitzvah, everything else.
The holiday celebrations.
The holiday celebrations. And we come together this morning. We are, again, a URJ affiliated congregation. We use the Mishkan Tefillah. The hyperlink should be accessible in the chat function for you to link into. The donation page, if you feel moved to give and to give tzedakah, then we are also, we bless you, and we are in need of those funds. So thank you so much. And again, as a family, we want to celebrate some birthdays. Do we have some birthdays?
Well, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to mix it up a little bit. We have an anniversary today of Mike and Stacy. So happy anniversary. May you have many, many more years in love and building incredible memories together. In addition to that, yesterday it was our member Barb's birthday, and this week we have member Larry's birthday coming up. So
what do you get here? You have a birthday, so new. Of course, we want to say Yom Huledet Sameach if you have an anniversary. But you know, here at Temple Beth David, you know, our members also have some incredible sweet treats.
Yeah,
so we can't tell you too much about it, because then you want to say, "What, Rabbi? I don't know about the treats." So you got to know. You got to let us know about membership, because we have all kinds of sweet treats. So if you've had a birthday, if you have a birthday, enjoy. Thank you, Bill Rhodes Bakery. And also for anniversaries, we have a delicious breakfast. We hope that you enjoy. It's our favorite meal of the day, so we want to share that from our community with you. And also another birthday.
Yeah, today also is my Gampa, my grandfather's 87th birthday. So Gampa, I love you. I miss you so much, and I can't wait until the day that we can celebrate again. Gampa, if you're joining us from Southern California, enjoy the weather for us and continue to
But stay safe
and protected.
On page 180.
We have to sing.
Oh, yes, let's sing. We have to sing.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach.
You know, we have to come together and singing and celebrating happy occasions and sad occasions and stressful things, stressors in our lives, but also, you know, figure out why we pray. It's such an important thing. You know, Saturday morning, people might say, "Oh, I just want to, you know, rest with a good cup of coffee and look outside and be on my patio." Okay, for sure. But this idea, you know, I hope that's not every single Saturday, because you also have to have this idea of prayer and community, and you can't do those things by yourself. You have to be with other people. So let's think about this inspiration for us coming together this morning. Each of us enters this sanctuary with a different need. Some hearts are full of peace and gratitude, overflowing with love and joy. They are eager to confront the day to make the world a better place. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune. We rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow, disappointments weigh heavily on them. Families have been broken, loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken a cherished loved one. May our presence and caring bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered, ideals are betrayed and mocked, answers sought in vain. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we too are searching restore our hope and renew our faith. You know, what gives you faith? Rebbetzin, what gives you faith?
my family. I derive probably the greatest amount of strength and faith in my family. How about you, Rabbi?
It's a difficult thing, because for sure I'm going to say family, but also this idea of God. Everything emanates from God. God is this unconditional love, and to talk with God, to talk to God, to have these types of conversations of gratitude. And sometimes we forget, the ultimate goal or the purpose is to get closer to God, and here, share with us, what do you get faith from or strength, or what motivates you? These are such important questions to ask. And we have to ask these questions every single day. Every day we have to ask them and to have gratitude. Gratitude for health and happiness. That's how we wake up in the morning. Rebbitzin, how do we wake up in the morning?
Modeh Ani.
Modeh Ani, page 186 with Modeh Ani.
Modeh Ani lefanecha melech chai v'kayam shechazarta bi nishmati bechemla Rabba emunatecha Rabba emunatecha.
Incredible. On page 189, I want to share this with you. We're teaching Hebrew. So if you're in the Hebrew class, this is Mi Ha'ish. It's on page 189. It's this middle paragraph here. And it's from Psalm 34. So who is this person? Let's figure out what type of person is eager for life. Mi Ha'ish hechafetz chaim. Ohev yamim lir'ot tov. Natsor leshoncha meira, usfatecha midaber mirma, sor meira va'aseh tov, bakesh shalom v'radofuhu. Who is the one who is eager for life? Who desires years of good fortune? Guard your tongue from evil speech, your lips from deceitful speech. Shun evil and do good. Seek integrity and pursue it. And now we're going to continue doing that with our talit. And we have, I have this talit, which is, nice here. It's from Temple Beth David. But we have kind of a show and tell, I guess. Can our president share with us? I mean, this is a beautiful talit, but it's not anything like what you're about to see. So this is incredible. We have a beautiful talit for a incredible life cycle event as well. So our president, Judy Kern, is going to share with us a new addition. Right, you're not wearing it, but so Judy, this is Judy's new talit, and the talit is for the upcoming, eventually, in the B'nai Mitzvah project for everyone. Again, you'll see the tassels, the tzitziot on the bottom, the four corners. And where is this talit? Where is it from?
It came from Jerusalem, and it's got more frequent flyer miles than I do.
Incredible. So again, if you're in the B'nai Mitzvah class, we hope that you are getting ready with your talitot, your talesim. And if you need to wrap yourself in a prayer shawl, let us know, and we'll let you know. Maybe it's not going to have so many flight, There's places that, again, this is special. It's from Yerushalayim. There are local talitot that you can get here in, maybe in Snellville. I got to check. But I definitely know in Metro Atlanta for sure. But look how beautiful. Again, you'll see the doves of peace. You'll see an outline of the Ir HaKadoshah, the ear of holiness of Jerusalem. Thank you for sharing. Beautiful. And we're so excited when you'll be putting it on. And now, if you have your talitot, the Rebbitzin, do you have, let me make sure we're ready to go. The atara is ready. And traditionally, you stand. We're actually standing, so let's just do the traditional way of putting on the talit. So you're going to hold it up where you can see the blessing, and then you're going to drape it the four corners around you. So let us now say the blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehitatef b'tzitzit. Amen. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, the sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes On the top of page 192, we continue with Ma Tovu.
Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael. Ma tovu ohalecha Yaakov mishkenotecha Yisrael.
On page 202, we have Nisim B'chol Yom, daily miracles in our lives. As we spoke about having strength from family, from loved ones, and
God.
and God as well. Think about this. Miracles. You got to always be happy, and it's not easy to always be happy. It's not, but here we can get support from each other. Let's now get support from each other and from God and from our rabbinic tradition. Let's do the first blessing for being created in the image of God.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tzelem Elohim.
For being a free person.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani bat chorim.
For being a person that seeks truth. For being a Jewish person.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani Yisrael.
For purpose. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam ozer Yisrael b'gvura. For harmony.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam oter Yisrael b'tifara.
For being busy with words of study, the top of page 204.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
And now we continue with 215 for the top paragraph of Ashrei. Happy are those who dwell in your house. They forever praise you. Happy the people who have it so. Happy the people whose God is Adonai.
Ashrei Yoshvei Beitecha od yahallelu chasela. Ashrei am shekacha lo. Ashrei am she'Adonai Elohav.
Tehillah LeDavid. I'm so excited. I want to continue, but the Rebbitzin says, listen, we did the top paragraph. If you're interested in the Ashrei, it's incredible. It's such a beautiful thing. So if you need strength and comfort, it really gives us happiness. On page 223, again, we rise in spirit for our morning, our Shacharit service. Yishtabach. Yishtabach Shimcha Le'ad Malkeinu. Ha'el ha'melech ha'gadol v'ha'kadosh b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Ki lecha na'eh Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu. Shir u'shvacha halel v'zimra oza memshala netzach gedula gvura. Tila v'tiferet kedusha u'malchut. Brachot v'hodaot me'ata v'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai El melech gadol v'tishbachot El ha'odaot Adon ha'niflaot Habocher b'shirei zimra Melech elchei ha'olamim. Praised are you, sovereign of wonders, crowned in adoration, delighting in song, eternal majesty. We turn for the next page, 224, for the Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah B'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'v'yomechon U'chayedecho Beit Yisrael Bagala U'vizman ka'ariv V'yimeru Amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam ulal me'almaya Yitbarach Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu leila min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran b'alma v'imeru amen. On page 226, the Baruch Hu, the call to worship. When you think about this idea, this call to worship, to connect with something greater than yourself, Talk to your family and friends and talk to them about God. And they maybe will use this language. I was a hospital chaplain for a few years working in a hospital setting. And we have this acronym that we use, SBNR, spiritual but not religious. Okay, it's included. So this idea when we talk about God and religion and spirituality, it's about connecting. It's about opening up the heart. That's the idea, is that you have to open the heart, peel away. The rabbis, the Hasidic masters talk about this. They say that, what does this mean to peel away the heart? To open it up, to make it accessible. And it's embedded in our tradition. They actually call this the klipot, that you have to remove it, because sometimes the heart here in this week's Torah portion, Pharaoh's heart is hardened. And so, what's the response? Is that it's hardened. You could say, that's it. Listen, I've gone through some difficult things in life, or I'm jaded, I'm evil. Chas v'sholom, God forbid you should say that, but you should say, you know what? God hasn't been there for me, so therefore I'm not going to seek God. And maybe that's true in your life, or how you perceive it to be. But the idea is, again, to peel away the klipot and say, how can we open the heart? How can we have this sacred space to be present, to open the heart and say, I'm ready to receive? Well, the call to worship. Let us elevate our spirits with the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach, HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed. And now we're going to continue with V'ahavat Shema, or Ahava Rabbah.
We'll do a little bit of Ahava Rabbah.
A little of Ahava Rabbah, this great love, this never-ending, unconditional love. On page 230, sing along with us.
Ahava Rabbah Avtanu, Adonai Eloheinu, Chem Lagedola V'Teira, Chamalta Aleinu, Ba'avor Avoteinu, Ve'imotenu, Shebatchu V'cha, Avinu Malkeinu, V'tlamdenu Chukei Chaim, Ken Techanenu Ulamdenu, Avinu Ha'av HaRachamat, Hamrachem Rachem Aleinu, V'ten B'libenu Lehavinu Lahaskil Lishmoa, Lilmod Ulilamed, Lishmor V'Lasot, U'Lekayem Et Kol Divrei Talmud Toratecha B'Yahava, Ve'ha'ernenu B'Toratecha, Ve'dabek Libenu B'Mitzvotecha, Ve'yached Levavenu Le'ahava U'yirat Shemecha, Ve'lo nevosh Ve'lo nikalem Ve'lo nikasher Le'olam Va'ed, Ki V'shem Kodshecha Hagadol v'hanora batachnu, Nagila v'nismecha b'bishuatecha. Wait, before we continue, again with the, we're going to take our four-cornered garment, we're going to gather them up. We're going to gather up the four-cornered garment, and now we're going to bring them together. And you know what these also represent? Of course, they represent the mitzvot, 613 mitzvot in our tradition, but also the four corners of people, that people, here, there's so many different types of people all over the world, but we all share so much in common. Here, we're all holy, special people created in the image of God. Let us come together now, like brothers and sisters, with Havi'enu l'shalom. V'havi'enu l'shalom, me'arba kanfot ha'aretz, v'tolichenu komemiyut le'artzenu. Ki el poel Yeshuot ata, uvanu v'charta v'kerabtanu, L'shimcha gadol sela be'emet, lehodot lecha uyachedcha be'ahava, Baruch atah Adonai habocher be'amo Yisrael be'ahava. And now the Shema, focus
focus and say the Shema. We close our eyes, we cover our eyes, and we fixate on this relationship that we have with Adonai.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Before we move into the V'ahavta, and we have a great here. We're doing twice weekly Talmud. It's incredible, and I apologize. I wish I could recreate myself, or if we had a few Rabbi Jessies, we could do like everything. But Talmud is traditionally done again every day. It's called Daf Yomi, and today's Daf is all about the Baruch Shem. This Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. So here, read about today's Daf. We're using this resource, My Jewish Learning. Incredible. And why do we do it, in this undertone, this hush kind of undertone? And in most communities, I'll share with you, in this traditional communities, they don't actually do it at all, except for, the Yamim Noraim, these days of awe. And, we're saying, blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever. I don't want to give away the secrets of the daf, because you got to go and look. So My Jewish Learning is incredible. But today's daf, today's page in Talmud, is all about this Baruch Shem. Now we turn to page 234 for V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha u'vlechtecha b'derech uv'shochbecha uv'komecha וקשרתם להיות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בעיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. We're going to turn to the next page, 236, because we're still holding on to the Arba Kanfos Haaretz, the four-cornered garment that represents the four directions. Here, all the cardinal directions over the world. Hold on to them tightly. Vayomer Adonai el Moshe Lemor, Daber el Bnei Yisrael, ve'amarta alehem, ve'asu lehem tzitzit, al kanfei vigdehem ledorotam, ve'nanu al tzitzit, hakanaf betil techelet, ve'haya lechem letzitzit. Uritem oto, uschartem et kol mitzvot Adonai, vasitem otam, velo taturu, charei nevechem, v'acharei nechem, asher aitem zonim achireihem, leman tizkeru, vasitem et kol mitzvotai, v'item kedoshim le'elohechem, ani Adonai Elohechem, asher hotzeiti etchem, me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem Emet. The tzitzit are really, the equivalent of like diamonds. Here, think about this. What does that mean? So that means that how holy they are. That we're able to fulfill Adonai's obligation, or we're obligated in wearing the tzitzit. And it's so interesting, the reason why I say they're like diamonds, when we get to this part in this first paragraph where it says, Velo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei einechem. Here, we just said that. So what does that really mean? That you have to look at you're looking at the fringes. You're looking at the fringes, and you don't want to turn away from them. You want to make sure that your heart is present. And, when I was learning in, in yeshiva, when I was learning in yeshiva, there was always rebbeim. And it was such a beautiful thing to see. They would actually pick up the four-cornered garment and really, I almost wanted to say maybe you should get a jeweler's lupa, but they're looking, as a funny kind of a joke, but they're looking so intently, at the wrappings, the bindings, the knots, and all these things signify something. And it's a beautiful thing. It's not. I'm not giving a learning on it right now. Maybe the Rebbitzin will say, Rabbi, you're talking about tzitzit. Maybe we got to bring some yarn, some string in, and teach everyone how to do it. All right, maybe we'll put that to the schedule. But it's such an incredible thing. So and we also kiss them. So we continue. Our service continues with Micha Mocha on page 240. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Nora tehilot osei fele. Shira chadasha shibchu geulim. Leshimcha al tzvat hayam. Yachad kulam hodu v'yamlichu v'yamru. Adonai yimloch leolam ba'ed. Tzur Yisrael kuma be'ezrat Yisrael. Uvdeichnu mecha Yehuda ve'Yisrael. Go aleinu Adonai tzvaot shemo. Kedosh Yisrael. Baruch Adonai Adonai. Gal Yisrael. On page 242, we start with the tefillah, the amidah. We elevate our spirit, we elevate our bodies. And now let us daven together the amidah.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Imahot, Umevi Gula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, V'Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia, Mashiv HaRuach, Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umkayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Baal Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memit, Umchaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata Lechayot Hakol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye Hakol, Mekadesh et Shimcha ba'olam, Kishem shemagdishim oto b'shmei marom, Kakatuv al yad neviecha v'kara ze el ze v'yamar, Kadosh, 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 Adonai tzvaot, Meloch kol ha'aretz kevodo. Adir Adirenu Adonai Adonenu, Ma'adir Shimcha b'chol ha'aretz, Baruch kevod Adonai mimkomo, Echad hu Eloheinu, hu Avinu, hu Malkeinu, hu Moshienu, v'hu yashmienu b'rachamav li'enei kol chai, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Yimloch Adonai leolam, Elohayech Tzion, Ledor vador, Hallelujah. Ledor vador nagid godlecha, ulenetzach netzachim kedushatcha nagdish, v'shivchacha Eloheinu mipinu lo yamush leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. On page 250, we continue with Vishamru, about Shabbat. And, Rebbetzin, what do you think about Shabbat? Can you give me a memory of Shabbat or something that you enjoy about Shabbat? Probably my earliest memory of Shabbat is making challah at GAN, at preschool in Israel.
Wow, how old were you in GAN? That's an early memory.
3 years old. I
3
told you it's my first memory of Shabbat, and ever since then.
GAN in Israel. Here, did you know the Rebbetzin went to GAN in Israel when she was 3, right?
And ever since then, it's just it's challah to me is central to Shabbat, and whether you're gluten-free or keto or whatever you happen to be. There's always a way to
there's an alternative
to manipulate this idea of challah and incorporate it into Shabbat. But as Rabbi covered in his first of the 3-part series, A Taste of Judaism, which challah definitely is, the challah not only is delicious, but in Reform Judaism in particular, it represents 3 aspects that are very central to Judaism,
right?
Which is Hashem. And Torah
and Kehillah and community. It's incredible. And so this idea of Shabbat, I'm trying to think things that I love. It's just the avirah shel Shabbat. What does that mean? The feeling, everything that surrounds us on Shabbat. And think about that. When Shabbat. I mean, here I'm speaking. I have a good friend. I'm blessed to have some friends, and always calling this rabbi friend of mine. And he said, listen, you got 18 minutes, He said, because, that's the whole idea is when you think about Shabbat, this time that you really have to, you can light the Shabbat candles and then you can be able to do things according to, this halachic understanding. So even things like that, or living in Israel, you have the Sphira. What is this, this siren that goes off that gets ready saying it's Shabbat. And it's incredible, flowers and food and family and the preparation for Shabbat. And community and coming together. And so, it's not, the whole idea of Shabbat is, life can really, you can get kind of in a rut. Do you ever feel like, where you're like, oh, it's Monday, I don't even know if it's Tuesday or Wednesday. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, what's today? I'm not even sure what's going on, maybe, here with this, everyone has like a home office now, and they've got their computer screen, and they don't even, maybe they have like a button-down shirt, a tie, and a blazer, or something kind of, and then they're wearing sweatpants and sandals. You don't really know what's going on. You're just, so this idea that to pull you out of that, and for sure we're waiting for everyone to be vaccinated and medication to be distributed properly, and everyone to be able to return to this idea of physical communal gatherings. But Shabbat also, here, it happens weekly. Every week there's Shabbat. So you got to, and that means maybe you got to take off the sandals and put on shoes, or, take out your siddur, or say some things, or call someone. It's this idea, it helps you. That's what Shabbat does. It really helps you address the ideas of saying, hey, we're a part of community. You can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. And that's embedded here in Vishamru. So let's sing together Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. We turn to page 260 for Oseh Shalom. So let us now sing together Oseh Shalom, the song of peace. Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom. Shalom Aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'yimeru, amen. Now on page 362, we get ready for the Torah service. And, I want to share with you some words. I've got this incredible, it's the 5 books of Miriam, a woman's commentary on the Torah. And, again, it is on Monday, we have an incredible special day. In memory and honor of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., may his memory be a blessing. And I was going to talk, tying in some of the life and legacy of Dr. King into this week's Torah portion. And for sure, when we think about Moses and, going and saying to everyone, you have to connect to God, connect with something greater than yourself. And Dr. King, here was this incredible, here in Atlanta, the church is in Atlanta. And, so this idea of him being a reverend and having such a strong connection with God. And may we all be blessed to have this strong connection with God. And, when we think about some of the famous speeches, this idea of, here we're close in Snellville, we're close to Stone Mountain. And we say, let freedom ring from the bell of Stone Mountain. And I was blessed and honored this morning. I was asked to share some prayers. So on Monday at
11 a.m.
11 a.m. To celebrate the legacy, the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., I'm going to be giving a prayer on Monday in Stone.
It's going to be part of a live streaming event, and we will get out more information on our Facebook page and also just through our email. And please be on the lookout and tune in if you're able to, because it's an important day. It's not a day off. It's definitely a day on and
right,
a day to contribute to the larger society.
And as the Rebbitzins mentions, it's a day on, but it's not just a day on. You got to be on all the time. That's also important. They talk about this day of service. I think it was last year. I think I was listening to a message from one of Dr. King's family members. And that's what the family was saying, is that it's not just this one day of service. Every day is a day of service. Every single day we have to serve. And sometimes you might forget that, or life gets in the way. So tomorrow we're going to be there. Excuse me, not tomorrow, on Monday. On Monday we're going to be there, at that bell in Stone Mountain. We're going to say every day is a day for remembering and action and love and hope and belief. And the march, we're still marching. We're still marching. On this week's Torah portion, I want to share something with you in this Va'ira in Exodus chapter 6. And, where is Miriam? I want to ask you this idea. So our daughters ask, why is Miriam not mentioned among the children of Amram? And Amram was, when we think about Amram and Moses' kind of mysterious birth, even the names, and it's interesting. We talk about Moses, this journey of the hero, and the birth of Moses. And, Shifra and Pua in Yocheved, in Miriam, the sister, the names that we use, who was Moses' family. And Amram was the father. So why is Miriam not mentioned among the children of Amram? As it is written, Amram took to wife his father's sister Yocheved, and she bore him Aaron and Moses. Miriam the prophet answers, the three children in our family rarely appear together. Think about that. These are, I know that I'm so blessed. Sometimes my wife says, you speak with your brother every day. I think I do speak with I call my brother, I think, every day. And the Rebbitzins blessed, sometimes she's on the phone with, and I even call her siblings. And I call them and we talk and we're friendly and I'm excited to visit with them. So this idea, and maybe you are, and if you're not, if you're estranged, then it's something.
Rabbi had that experience too.
I had that experience as well, that I was, here, and I think about that, my brother and I, here, I'm going to be personal, it's fine, that's what we do. It's good to be transparent and to be honest. My brother and I hadn't spoken for many years. We were estranged. And it's funny now, I just said to the Rebbitzin, I call my brother every day. Every day we're on the. We didn't speak for 5 years, and now I speak every day.
You have a lot of making up to do.
That's right. A lot of making up to do. But here in our history, in our Jewish history in the Torah, Moses and Aaron and Miriam are not mentioned together. They will be much later, but about something not good, not good. The three children in our family rarely appear together. So when my brother Moses first arrives on the scene at the beginning of the book of Exodus, only an unnamed sister is mentioned. Aaron is totally absent from the story. I first appear by name only after the crossing of the Sea of Reeds. Think about that. Here, that was in Micha Mocha. Again, I first appear by name only after the crossing of the Sea of Reeds, and there I am identified only as Aaron's sister. Moses is absent from my genealogy. The sages in our own time declare such inconsistencies prove differing authorship of the Bible and different accounts woven together into whole cloth. Miriam disagrees. No, these lapses reveal dynamic tensions within our family. Here, that families aren't perfect. That's the idea, is that we have to work on it. And we learn this from Moses. We learn so much from Moses, that Moses and Aaron, and here in Mom. Yocheved and Amram. We talk about Moses as Moshe Rabbeinu, but look at the family. It's not perfect. No, whose family is perfect? I appear only as my brother's protector. Aaron appears alone as his mouthpiece and co-leader. Aaron and I together function as rivals to our brother's authorship. His authorship, his authority. Psychologists tell us that triangles are unstable structures in human relationships. How much more so in families? Aaron's wife, Elisheva recounts, I am the daughter of Aminadab, of the tribe of Judah, sister of Nachshon. The latter linked directly to the line of David. The Torah records my marriage to Aaron the high priest, but I am never again mentioned in the Torah. And this is interesting that I want to share this with you, this idea, this who she is, because this hero was really the one that went in and parted the seas, parted the Red Sea, in order for us to make it to the other side. How strange is the silence surrounding my life. For like Moses and Miriam, whose families play no part in the ongoing desert saga of the Israelite people, our family figures prominently. Our first two sons, Nadav and Avihu, die mysteriously by the hand of God because they offer strange fire on the altar. On the other two sons, Eleazar and Itamar, inherit the priestly mantle and participate in the elaborate rituals of consecration and sacrifice. Yet all who ever hear about me is the single brief mention here. What an opportunity for a good story. And that's what I want to share with you today. When we read the weekly Torah portion, the idea is sometimes we might focus on the big picture, and that's important to focus on the big picture. But also, I want you to go a little deeper. Rebbitzin, how can you go deeper if you want to learn some Torah? What's a good place to start?
I would say Wednesday's Lunch and Learns.
Wednesday's Lunch and Learn. That's a great place to start. So I look forward to seeing you Wednesdays, because you might know the big picture ideas of the plagues, blood and frogs and lice and cattle disease and wild beasts. Hail.
Be ready this Wednesday, because we're going to kind of have a review. One of Rabbi's favorite questions to ask is, what is your favorite plague? Which is an interesting question. But we'll get into it this Wednesday.
Yeah, and I want to share that with you. It's a crazy question to ask, what is your favorite plague? I think I was talking with my grandfather. But when we think about the plagues, and I mentioned this last night, I don't want to go too far off here. I want to bring us back to our service. But, the plagues really were not for Pharaoh. The plagues were, all of them here. I don't want to say all of them. The 9 plagues were for, everyone to recognize God's power. And thank God it's recorded actually in our Hebrew Bible that on these 9 plagues, for sure it was terrible, but, thank God no one died. No one died from these plagues. And that's why we say that really it was about God manipulating nature and power to express God, the ability that God has to say, Pharaoh, please, look at what I can do. Look at who I am. Please, heed my command. Listen to Moses. But the last plague was really, Makat Bechorot, the death of the firstborn. So we're going to talk about these this Wednesday. Let's bring the Torah out now and get ready for our Misha Berach, our service for healing. Page 362. Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai, v'ein kema'asecha, malchutecha malchut kol amim, umemshaltecha bechol dor v'ador. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, Adonai oz li'amo yitain, Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom, av harachamim, heitiv avirtzoncha et Zion, tivnei chomot Yerushalayim, Ki vecha levad batachnu, melech el ram benisa, Adon olamim. Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, Ki mitzion teitzei Torah, udevar Adonai Mirushalayim. The top of page 366. Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan, Torah, Torah, Yamo Yisrael, Bigdushato, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai Iti, Unramema Shemo Yachdav, Lecha Adonai Hagidula, V'Hagivura, V'Hatiferet, V'Hanetzach, V'Hahod, Ki Bashamayim U'Va'aretz, Ki Bashamayim U'Va'aretz, Lecha Adonai Hamam Lecha, V'Minaseh Lechol Erosh. Our Torah now is in our midst. Our Torah from Zion, from Yerushalayim. This idea, I just want to share with you that the Torah is, we read the Torah for sure week by week, the Sedras, the weekly Torah portions, the Parsha Shavua, but the Torah really is a blueprint of life, how to live, how to act, how to be present in this world. And it's a difficult world to be present in because there is death, there's destruction, there's chaos, there's loss of life, there's sickness. But we have the ability to continue to pray, to partner with God and say, we are here, we are angels, we can help. Let us think of all those that are in need of healing, a healing of the mind, the body, and the spirit as we pray for them for a refuah shlema.
Irene Namer, Dawn Sinclair, all those afflicted with COVID-19, Tabitha Johnson, Marcus Young, Lauren Wright, Mark and Joanne Schoen, Debbie and Daryl Bernard, Debbie Dreyer, Daniel Strumer, Bill Wolf, Andrea Rach, Margaret Goldstein, Martine Rudolph and family, Irma Schiller, Ann Tepper, Jeff Traub.
Rebbitzin.
Ada Ganger and Lenore Jacobson and Lou Jutzi.
Robert Whitlock, Barbara Whitlock, Terry Hurst.
Let us now bless everyone and pray. All those that are in need of healing, let us sing together the Misheberach found on page 371. Misheberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen.
Stanley Wilson, Jerry Wood, Mario Jolin.
Misheberach imotenu Mekor HaBracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen. May everyone be blessed with a refuah shlema, a full and speedy recovery. Let us continue to pray, to act, to love. On page 374, we rise now as our holy Sefer Torah is returned to the ark. Yehalelu et Shem Adonai, ki nizgav Shemo levado, hodo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren liyamo, dila lechol chasidav, Livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Ki lekach tov natati lachem, Torati al tazovu. מחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש ימינו כקדם. As our Aruna Kodesh, our holy ark, is still open, we rise, we continue to stay standing, and on page 586 we recite the second paragraph of Aleinu. Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרום בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגובהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד. Now we prepare ourselves for the mourner's Kaddish, the Kaddish Yatom. We think of all those that are no longer with us. Let us read a meditation. The Rebbetzin will lead us in a meditation for the Kaddish Yatom.
Meditation number 4 on page 594. Why should I wish to see God better than this day? I see something of God in each hour of the 24, and each moment then. In the faces of men and women, I see God, and in my own face in the glass. I find letters from God dropped in the street, and every one is signed by God's name. And I leave them where they are, for I know that wheresoever I go, others will punctually come forever and ever.
You know, on our list here at Temple Beth David, our Yortzeit list, we'll first read all those that are no longer with us. May their memories be a blessing. We think of all of these loved ones. In this season or in seasons past, we bring them into our hearts. We draw them close. Daniel Jacob Horowitz, Joel Kellner, Richard Eggers, Zelda Abbas, Ned Isaacs, Vicky Morton, Bob Molnar, Dr. Jim Bartling, Maurice Goldstein, Joanne Sexton, Patrick Myers, George Kirchhoff, Martha Young, Donald Woodruff, Mickey McKinney, Dr. Norman Freed, Pedro Martinez, Helen Brudner, Gary Peck, Norman Lakach, Elabeth Green. And we commemorate the Yortsides in our community. Traditionally, we celebrate these the week of the Yortzeit. I know that we were reciting the names for the entire month, but now we're going to focus on the week. So, for these individuals, if you remember them, which we do remember them, and your family members, the tradition for family is to light a Yortzeit candle, a Ner Neshama. If you're curious about these candles, please let us know. We're here for you. Sophia Epstein Friedman, Ruby Andrews, Chaim Stuckler. Zichronam livracha, may all of our loved ones be forever remembered and blessed. We rise in solidarity with all those that are mourning. On page 598, let us recite the Mourner's Kaddish together.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'bizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam ol'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yipa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'richu. Le'ela mincho birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen.
Who is like God? Who is like God? Well, the answer is Ein Keloheinu. There is nothing like God. On page 626, let us sing together Ein Keloheinu. Ein Keloheinu, Ein Kadoneinu, Ein Kemalkeinu, Ein Kemoshienu, Mi Keloheinu, Mi Chadoneinu, Mi Kemalkeinu, Mi Kemoshienu, Nodel Eloheinu, Nodel Adoneinu, Nodel Emalkeinu, Nodel Moshienu, Baruch Eloheinu, Baruch Adonenu, Baruch Malkeinu, Baruch Moshienu, Atahu Eloheinu, Atahu Adonenu, Atahu Malkeinu, Atahu Moshienu. Wait, we're not done yet. Announcements, announcements, announcements.
From our president.
Following the service, please join Steve Dornowski. He is hosting the weekly Shabbat Shmooze. The meeting ID and password are posted in the chat. You guys can get together and chit-chat among yourselves. There's a town hall scheduled for the 21st. There was an announcement that went out last week. We will send another reminder this week. And as Rabbi Jesse mentioned, we are starting to read the yahrzeits by the week that they occur, not the month. So if there was somebody you were expecting to hear, they may have been read last week, or they may be next week. And as always, Rabbi has put a gazillion more hours in the day. He's got many educational opportunities going, and I will let him kind of review them.
What do we have going on?
So just a recap once again, Monday at 11 will be a special Martin Luther King.
In Stone Mountain.
Yes,
It's
put on by the
here,
city of Stone Mountain.
By the city of Stone Mountain. It's going to be incredible. And
again, it is a virtual event due to the pandemic.
We will send out all the information. Tonight, we also have a Havdalah live on our Temple Beth David Facebook page around 6:25-ish. But we make it fun and exciting, and the whole family's there. On Monday, we have a Tehillim class.
But before that, we have Talmud.
Talmud on Monday, so we have twice weekly Talmud. We've got so many things. Our website page is incredible. We've got some things also in the works for that. But please join us, become members of Temple Beth David, tell your friends about us. We've got a lot of opportunities available to learn, to grow, to connect, not only for learning activities, but in opportunities, but also for social events as well, to connect with people, not to be alone, not to be lonely, to come together as a family. We want to wish everyone from our family
to yours, but before we do that, please don't forget to RSVP for your Tu B'Shvat gift. It is going to be delicious, and it's also going to be very useful for our Tu B'Shvat Seder, which is going to occur on Tu B'Shvat on Thursday, the 28th of this month.
It's going to be delicious. You got to RSVP. Good Shabbos, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, and join Steve for the
For the
Shabbat
Shmooze.
Shmooze.